Hello everyone. A very good morning to all of you. First of all, thank you very much for taking your time amidst your busy schedule and joining today's workshop. And this is the third of a series of workshops on modernizing password self-service. Each workshop in this series will focus on a specific set of password self-service and IT self-service tasks and demonstrate how you can reduce help desk workload using AD Self-Service Plus. I hope this session will be of great use to deploy AD Self-Service Plus product effectively. So before getting into the topic, let me introduce myself. My name is Ramchan and I work in the marketing of the Manage Engine team, and I will be taking today's workshop. I hope my voice is audible and the display is well and clear. If not, please let us know in the chat. So today we are going to see the topic where we will be ensuring 100% enrollment for password self-service using various enrollment options. So the topics that we are going to see today are scheduling and sending enrollment reminders to end users via email and push notifications, and then forcing end users to enroll using logon script if the enrollment notifications are unsuccessful. And the third, automatically enroll users by importing data from a CSV file or from external data sources like MySQL database or Oracle DB or any other external data source. And the fourth is enrollment-free self-service by using mail and mobile attributes in Active Directory to send verification codes to end users during password reset. By following this step, the user does not have to enroll previously. And finally, we'll see how admin can keep track of end users' enrollment status using the built-in reports. So first, let's get to the first point where we'll be seeing how to schedule and send enrollment reminders to end users via email and push notification. So now I'm going to access AD Self-Service Plus and I'm logging in as the admin. And once I log in, I'll head to the Configuration tab, Administrative Tools, and select Quick Enrollment. So these are the four options available for quick enrollment. The first one is to force enrollment using logon script, which we'll see later. The second is send notifications via email and push notification. And the third is importing data from CSV file. And the fourth, importing data from external database. So now we'll see sending enrollment notifications via email. So just make sure before heading into this configuration, you need to set up mail server previously. So just make sure your mail server is set up by accessing edit server settings, and we can start sending enrollment notifications. So first, I need to select the domain for which I need to send enrollment notifications. I'm selecting the test domain 8360, and I can choose the notification type, whether it's email or push notification. Both are same, but email notifications will be sent to the user's email, and push notification will work only if the user has AD Self-Service Plus app installed in his Android or iOS mobile phone. So now, since I can't show you a mobile phone, I'll show you the email notification. I'm selecting email notification, and if I decide I don't want to send the notification to the entire domain, I can just select a specific set of OUs for which the mail should be sent, and I'm going to choose just one OU, which is RAM, and I'm clicking OK. And once it's selected, I can go through the mail content. I can also use macros which is previously provided, and I'm just going to use the default text, that is the users will be denoted that they have to the admin has deployed a password self-service tool and that they can enroll into it, so that they don't need to pester the admin when they need to reset their password. So now I'm just sending the default content and I'm clicking on send. I'll be prompted, and yes, I want to send this email, and I got a success message that email was sent to 2 out of 4 users in that OU. And let me check my mail, and yes, I've got the email. So this states that the admin has deployed a password self-service tool, which is our AD Self-Service Plus, and we can log into it and enroll the user. So I'm clicking on the link to enroll, and I need to sign in as the domain user to enroll into it. So now I got the email for the user Victor and Peter. So let me log in as the user Victor, and I'm entering my password for the user, and I'm logging in. And once I log in, I'll be prompted to enroll into the product. So just read the enrollment prompt, and I'm clicking on enroll, and I can select any 2 questions as my security question, and I'll answer it. What's your mother's maiden name? I'm just typing in mother. And what's the name of your favorite cousin? And maybe that's Johnny. And I'm enrolling myself, and yes, I have been successfully enrolled. So now the user Victor can change password or reset password, and self-service him with his own credentials. And yes, now the user Victor is enrolled into the product. So he can head on to domain user login, and he can change his password if he wants, and also he can reset his password by heading into forgot your password and entering his SAM account name, and he needs to answer these 2 security questions to ensure this identity. And once he enters these 2 answers, he can head on to resetting his password. And also, as a security measure, he needs to enter the CAPTCHA code. And yes, I can enter a new password for Peter. I'm sorry, new password for Victor, and I'm choosing ADSSP at 123. Again, I'll be prompted to enter the CAPTCHA code. I'm entering it, and then reset password. And yes, password was reset successfully. So this is how mail notifications work. And let me get back to the domain admin login, and I'm heading to the quick enrollment, which is under configuration tab, administrative tools, quick enrollment, and notification via email and push. Like I previously said, push notification is same as email notification, and the only difference is it will be sent to the users who already have AD Self-Service Plus app installed in their mobile phone. So once email notification is sent, the admin can also schedule it to send it at regular intervals, so that he does not need to head to this tab every time he wants users to enroll. So he can schedule notification by clicking on this yellow button over here, schedule notification. He can add a new scheduler, and first thing, he has to name it. So he can name it anything, and then he'll select the domain and 8360. I'm selecting the test domain 8360. He can give the durations like daily or weekly or monthly, and selecting the correct options, and they can be notified via both mail and push notification. And he can also edit the content which is to be sent, and he can save it. So this is how you can add new schedulers, and this is the first point that we saw, which is scheduling and sending enrollment reminders to end users via email and push notifications. So one thing to be noted here is when selecting a OU, only those users who are not enrolled will be notified via this reminder. So you don't need to worry about users who have already enrolled. They won't receive any emails. And let's get to the second point, where we'll be forcing users to enroll using logon script if the enrollment notifications are unsuccessful. So for that case, let's again sign in as the admin, head to quick enrollment, and there is this first option called force enrollment using logon script. So The first option is that force enrollment using logon script. So it's already enabled. Yes, I enabled it already. So you can give an option whether users should be checked whether they are enrolled daily or weekly or monthly. So I had previously configured daily settings, and every day at 10:30 all the computers and all the users in the domain will be checked if they are already enrolled into the product. If not, a logon script will be scheduled for them. And there's also an option to force users to enroll when they log into the domain. So this option will force the user to log into the domain, log into AD Self-Service Plus. He cannot do anything else without enrolling into the product. So let's see how that works. The force users to enroll option is already selected and it's already saved. And for testing, I'll show you a remote connection to this machine with the login Johnny, who's not yet enrolled into the product. And let me show you his screen so that you'll get to see how this works. So I'm taking a remote connection to the computer. I'm entering the credentials, and yes, once logged in, I'll see this enrollment notification. Without clicking on enroll button, I cannot do anything else. So even if I try to use the other monitors, other desktop, I cannot do it. I just need to enroll into this, and there is no close button for this notification because we are forcing the user to enroll. So now I'm clicking on enroll and I'll be taken to the AD Self-Service Plus product, and I can log in as the user, who is Johnny, and I'll enter his credentials, and I'm logging into the system. So again, I'm seeing this enrollment prompt which I can click and then enroll my details. So one thing to be noted here is once the user clicks on enroll, he needs to come to domain user login and enter his domain user credentials. So what if he does not need to enter his credentials again? So for that purpose, we need to enable NTLM SSO. So I'll minimize this remote connection, and we need to enable NTLM SSO for that purpose. For that, I'm going into the admin login and head to admin tab and select the first option, which is hide self-service admin login. Only after hiding self-service admin login, I'll be able to enable single sign-on. So it's just showing me how to access admin screen again, because now the default admin login page will be hidden from the login page. So now I'm enabling single sign-on. So I need to give the details for 8360 domain for single sign-on to work, which is the first domain name, a computer account name, and its password. And you can also select this option if you want to create that computer account if it does not exist. And this DNS servers and the DNS site name, which is mandatory for SSO to work. So once you give all these settings, you can just save, and now SSO is enabled. So now let me show you how SSO works. I'm signing out and I'm heading back to the remote connection, which I already showed you. So I'm opening. Okay, now I head to AD Self-Service Plus, and I just type in the URL, and I'm sorry, SSO did not work. I'm signing out, and yes, now let's see how SSO works. I'll just type in the URL for AD Self-Service Plus slash showlogin.cc, and once I enter it, I'll be automatically logged into the product, so that I don't need to enter my credentials once again in AD Self-Service Plus. This is because I enabled NTLM SSO, so that the user does not have to enter his credentials in AD Self-Service Plus once again. So let's see how this works. For this NTLM SSO to work correctly, we need to enable certain settings in Internet Explorer. So let me show you how that worked. This is an Internet Explorer browser. I'm heading into the settings and selecting Internet options. So in that, I'll select Security tab, and I'll click on Local Intranet. Since our AD Self-Service Plus is deployed in local intranet, and I'm selecting it, and I'll click Custom Levels. So in the end of this list, you'll see a prompt for log on, and there is an option for automatic logon with current username and password. You just need to select this option and click on Save, and doing that, SSO will work perfectly as you think. You just need to enter AD Self-Service Plus URL, and you'll be automatically logged in as the current user. So now this is the user Peter, and I can click on enroll, and I can enroll my settings. So that is the second point where I'm forced to enroll using logon script. So we saw this option where the user is forced to enroll using logon script, and also using NTLM SSO, so that he does not need to enter his credentials once again. Now let's get to the third point, where we'll automatically enroll users by importing data from a CSV file or from external data source. So first, let's see how we can import data from CSV files. Again, for that, we'll head on to AD Self-Service Plus, and we'll access the admin login page, and I'm logging in as the admin into AD Self-Service Plus. I need to head to Configuration tab, Administrative Tools, and Quick Enrollment. So this time we are going to import data from CSV file. So I'm selecting Import Enrollment Data from CSV File option. So for which policy? It's 8360, and I'm going to import question as well as answer from a CSV file. So I can click on the sample CSV file to see how my CSV file has to be. So the pop-up was blocked by Chrome. I'm just clicking on allow, and yes, this is how my CSV file should be. SAM account name, comma, question name, comma, the answer. So I have a CSV, so I'll choose that. This is my CSV, just a username Sophia, a question, a security question, and the answer. So let's see how these two users are going to be enrolled by importing their data using CSV files. So I'm selecting that file, clicking on enrollment, and I'm enrolling, and yes, two users are successfully enrolled. Now I can verify that those users are enrolled by signing out and then logging in as those users, which is the first one is Sophia, the password, and I'm logging in. Yes, the user is already enrolled. I can head to the enrollment tab and verify that I have been already enrolled for this. So that shows how users can be enrolled by importing their data using a CSV file. So now let's see the second case, which is importing data from an external data source. So for that purpose, let's head to this remote connection, and I'll show you this. I have a MySQL database called Enrollment, and there is a table called it to enroll, which contains 3 usernames, their question and their answer. Now I'm going to show you how I can import this data from this MySQL database into AD Self-Service Plus so that these 3 users will already be enrolled. So now for that I need to log in as the admin, and I'm heading to the admin login page. And I'm logging in as the admin. Now I'm heading to configuration tab, administrative tools, and quick enrollment. Now there is the fourth option, which is import data from external database. So I'm clicking on this, and there are 2 options, MySQL database and Oracle. You can also add new data sources here by clicking on this add new data source. For now I'll show you an MS SQL database connection. I'm clicking on edit, and the connection name is, I'm just giving it as enrollment, the host name, and the server is actually running in the localhost, so I'm giving it as localhost, the port number, the DB name, and the DB's username and password. So okay, it's a success. So the connection has been created successfully. Now I need to fetch data from this external data source. So now I need to add a new fetcher. So the first thing is I'll give a fetching name, which is ADSSP, the connection, which is already created, enrollment, the policy to which the users will be imported, which is 8360. I'm going to import both question and answer. So I need to type the SQL query for this, which is select username, question, answer from the table name it to enroll. So now I'll fetch, and I'll see these 3 usernames. Now I'm using the old database itself, which has 3 users, test user 11, 12, and 21. So I'll update these 3 users, and yes, all these users have been successfully enrolled into the product. Now this is the third point which we saw, and the third point that we saw was automatically enrolling users by importing data from CSV file or external data source. The fourth point is enrollment free self-service by using mail and mobile attributes. So by following this step, the users does not have to enroll into the product, but still they'll be able to reset their password by using AD Self-Service Plus. Now let's see how that step could be done. So again, we'll head to the product, logging in as the admin. For this step, we'll head on to configuration tab, and under self-service, selecting multi-factor authentication. So as we can see, security question and answer is already enabled. Now I'll head to the verification code tab, and I'm enabling verification code via email address. So if I want, I can edit this text, and I can use macros for this purpose, and I'm clicking on save. Also I can use mobile if I have set up SMS server, and so since I have just email address, I'm using this, and I'm clicking on save. So it's saved. Now, let me show you how an end user who is not yet enrolled into the product is going to use verification code for enrollment. So for that purpose, I'll show you the user test user 22. So I'll head on to reset password and enter the user's SAM account name, and I'm clicking on continue. Since the user has not yet enrolled, he cannot be shown the security questions, and hence he's being shown his email address from Active Directory. So since there's just one email address, I'm selecting it, and I need to enter the CAPTCHA code for this, and I'll click on continue. Once I click continue, I'll receive a verification code for this user in my email, and yes, I received it. I just need to copy this verification code into this box, and I'll be able to reset the password without enrolling into AD Self-Service Plus. And yes, now I can reset up my password. So I'm using a random password and the CAPTCHA code. So this user has reset his password without enrolling into AD Self-Service Plus. So this is done using verification code using his mail and mobile attributes from AD. So that was the fourth point that we saw. And finally, how does the admin know how many end users have already enrolled into AD Self-Service Plus? For that purpose, we have a built-in report. So again, we'll head on to admin login. Login is the admin, and I'll head to reports tab and select enrolled users report. So as we can see, all these users were enrolled right now, and few users enrolled through mail notification, and one user through NTLM SSO, and one user was forced to enroll using logon script, and 2 users were imported from CSV file, and 3 users from external data source, which is MySQL. And finally, I showed you test user 22 who was able to reset his password without enrolling into the product. So the admin can keep track of how many users have enrolled by using this built-in report. So that was the final point, where the admin keeps track of end users enrollment status. So that's all for today. Now let's see a quick recap of all the topics that we saw. The first one was scheduling or sending enrollment reminders to end users via email and push notifications. The second was we'll force end users to enroll using logon script, and that step has to be done only when enrollment notifications are unsuccessful. The third step was we imported data for users from CSV files and external data sources like MySQL. This step can be used when a bulk of users need to be enrolled into the product. And the fourth step that we saw was enrollment-free self-service, where the user was able to reset his password without enrolling into the product. And finally, we saw how the admin was able to see or track and keep track of end users enrollment status using the built-in reports in AD Self-Service Plus. So thank you all for taking your time and listening to this workshop. I hope it will be of very great help in deploying AD Self-Service Plus in your organization. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to drop your questions in the chat box, or you can get in touch with us through email. The video of this workshop will be available online, and the same will be shared with you, and a feedback mailer will also be sent to you, which is going to help us in improving the quality of the workshop. Please take a minute or two to fill up the form, which is going to be of great use to us. Once again, thank you very much and have a wonderful rest of the day.